Hello everyone, welcome to the Config and Tech video for Amerzone, Explorer's Legacy. Get my folder view and my notes open. So I have the installation folder over here on the left. You will not have this folder because I made it for the purposes of this video. And you will also not have these files. We will be putting these files in throughout the course of this video. All of these other files here you will have. Plus you will have extra files that I've chosen to hide for the sake of this video, just to not add any confusion, and because they are not relevant to anything that I want to discuss. I'm not saying to delete those files, because obviously you need them for the game to work. Then I have my notes here on the left, so let's start. In this video we will be setting up Amerzone Explorer's Legacy, general and advanced settings where needed. This will hopefully put the game in the best playable state it can be. Any links that are covered will be in the description of the video. So the first thing I want to cover here is zoomed in resolution. If you start the game, you may see that the game is now zoomed in to the upper left quadrant of the screen. The fix is simple and generally works 90% of the time when you need to use it. This is a good tweak to remember for future PC games that you play. So a little how-to segment here. You essentially need to go to this folder here that I'm showing you on the left, and if you have the Steam version of this game, you need to go to this folder path to get to it. Whatever your drive letter is, C:/D:. So go to this path, and then you're going to want to focus on the Amerzone.exe file. So right-click on this file and go to Properties. Click the button here, and then select the Compatibility tab at the top here. Click the Change High DPI Settings button at the bottom, this one here. Then go to the bottom section called High DPI Scaling Override. Check the box for Override High DPI Scaling Behavior, this one. And then make sure the drop-down menu is on Application. You also have System and System Enhanced. There's been very few rare occurrences where I've needed to use this fix and Application didn't work, and I had to put it on one or the other. But in general, check the box, put it on Application, click OK, click Apply, and click OK. You should be good to go. It's worth mentioning some games, this one, Amerzone, may be one of them. It will automatically apply this setting for you. You'll have to run the game at least once, and then when you shut the game down, it'll pop up like a little window in Windows and say that the game has applied a compatibility option or setting. And if it says that or shows that, then that's what it's probably talking about. If you go ahead and do it preemptively manually here before you run the game, then you may not get that window. But what I want to get at with that is don't rely on the game to do it for you if it's needed, because the game may not be set up and programmed to do that. So just make sure you go in there and check or try to manually apply it. Okay. Next thing is DirectX and DG Voodoo API program, which is version 2.8.2.5. We'll get to these links here. They'll be in the description of the video. So by default, Amerzone uses an older form of direct draw and is equivalent to something like DirectX 8. You may experience issues regarding proper resolution because this game is old. I'm going to be showing you how to configure a program called DG Voodoo to use with Amerzone, so we can run the game in DirectX 11 at 60 FPS. This software can be used on other games that are older as well to achieve similar results and improvements. I would recommend, if you are so inclined, that you check out my Siberia 1 Config and Tech video first. In that video, I covered DG Voodoo for the first time and in some ways in greater detail. You can expect this video's coverage of DG Voodoo to be more concise and to the point. So that's what this is up here. I'll put this playlist link in the description, and then this will be the link to the DG Voodoo API program that we're going to be covering here. These are just here for my my reference to remember to put it in the description of the video. So download, install, and configuration. Go to the link to the download for DG Voodoo software. Under the latest stable version, get the one that says for regular usage. Once you have DG Voodoo downloaded and extracted, take the DG Voodoo CPL.exe and move it to your Amerzone folder where you have the Amerzone.exe installed. Let me go ahead and open that. That's what this is. So this is the zip that you'll download. Open that up. Let me resize this here a little better. Okay. So this file right here is the one I mentioned. Yeah, you need to move that file into here next to your Amerzone.exe file. So there it is. It's the same file. Then you need to open the folder MS, which is this one here. And then inside that folder you need to open x86 and move all 4 .dll files into the same folder you put dgvoodoo cpl.exe. So all 4 of these. And you can see them represented here already. So it's all of these files here need to be here for everything to work. The exe for the program and the 4 DLL files. And that was the how-to segment there I just showed you. Once that is done, we'll now start configuring DG Voodoo. So open the DG Voodoo cpl.exe in your Amerzone folder. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that. So you're presented with this little bitty window here. You have 3 tabs. So this here, this will take you to the Documents folder, one of the Documents folders within Windows for DG Voodoo specifically. This is where it will store all of these settings that we're looking at right now. Once we set them and save them, this is where it stores the configuration file for the program. You can choose to change this if you like. It's not entirely a bad idea to change it to be specific to the games directory that you're setting up, because when you set this program up, depending on the game, you might apply different settings. So that's one benefit to doing that. I'm just leaving it in its default state of where it's storing the file, and just tweaking it separately. But you could do that since you are installing the actual program itself in a separate place, but it doesn't matter. You can just leave it this way. So you're going to have a General tab, a Glide tab, and a DirectX tab. General's General, DirectX is DirectX, and Glide is referencing OpenGL, which is just another API that games use. A lot of older games, most games don't use OpenGL anymore. So as far as settings go here, the output API, I would suggest to just put that on best available one and let the program and the system pick what you use. In the state of this game, it will end up using DirectX 11, which is fine. Adapter, it will just list which one you have. You can see you have some other options here. Just make sure you pick the one that is actually your most powerful graphics card. You know, obviously if you have a NVIDIA GeForce card like me, you don't want to use your Intel integrated graphics card. So select your card. This will just represent what your screen is. Go ahead and pick the name of it. Display 1 is just representing my television that I'm playing this game on. So either your television or your monitor. Appearance, go ahead and put it on full screen. Scaling mode, keep that centered on keep aspect ratio so nothing is stretched. Because some games you may play are in a 4:3 aspect. Box resolution with black bars vertically running on the left and right. You don't want those to be stretched to fill the screen because it's going to warp the game. In this case, I think the game is natively widescreen, so it doesn't matter. But progressive scanline order uses progressive scanline mode to output device in full screen. Otherwise, the default is used, which may mean interlaced mode. Also, you can only see resolutions in the resolution selector combo boxes that are displayable with progressive order on the selected output. I think that's yeah. But go ahead and leave that checked. Leave the next thing unchecked. It's not necessary. Brightness, color, contrast is all set defaults. Keep window aspect ratio. If enabled, sizing the application window in windowed mode won't enable arbitrary size because its aspect ratio is kept. Leave that checked. Leave capture mouse checked. Like in the case of a game you're playing that's point and click, you and if you're recording it for YouTube, the viewers won't be able to see your mouse if you don't have that checked. Center application window really doesn't matter so much, especially if you're playing full screen. It doesn't matter. We'll go to glide for the next one. Most of this is generally the basic settings and doesn't even apply to this game because the game doesn't use OpenGL or glide, but you can see what my settings are here. Force VSync. Okay, we'll go to DirectX. So here, this is the default that it was left on just from installing. So I'm just leaving it on that. App driven. I believe these are all defaults. Pretty sure they are. This is the resolution for this game particularly that I set. So that it will look correct. So this would be the resolution that you want to set it at. Obviously my resolution for my computer in Windows is 1920 by 1080. But this will give you the proper resolution for this game. This will apply anti-aliasing, which is a good thing, so put that up to 8x. And then application, controlled full screen windowed state. Disable Alt-Enter toggle. Force VSync. Apply Phong shading when possible. This will just give better graphic output. DG Voodoo watermark. You want that unchecked so you don't have a watermark on your screen. VSync just to lock your frame rate, prevent screen tearing. Fast video memory access may be a good thing, but it also may cause problems, so I think it's off by default anyway, so I'd recommend that off. Most everything in this program is best left default in general, with just a few minor adjustments depending on the game. So that's basically all of the settings for this. It is all the settings, so just click Apply, click OK. So a note here, you don't need to run the DG Voodoo program when you play the game. Just make your adjustments and save them, and that's it. The game will run them automatically when you play the game. You're still going to be running the Amerzone exe when you play the game and not the DG Voodoo CPL exe. But you need to run this to set up the files so that the game can reference them. Alright, we'll move to the next thing here. Which is skip intro videos. I do like to show these intro videos in the first gameplay part 1 video of any game I play. Then I too will be using this method to make the game load faster by disabling them. So there are 2 files we need to adjust. The first one is located in the folder path below, which is here, the main install folder. You'll see a file called logo.smk, this one right here. So you need to rename this file to logo.smk.bak with no quotes. The .bak is just short for backup. The second file is located in the folder path below, so here. And then you're looking for z01vr underscore phare, I guess, phare. Go in here. You'll see a file called sc01. Let's see if we can find it. It's buried in here. sc01 underscore a.smk. Rename this file to logo. Oops, I didn't change that. Let me go ahead and fix that in my own notes so it's correct. So rename that to sc01 underscore a dot smk dot bak. Same thing, the dot .bak is just short for back. If you want the intros back to normal, just remove the dot .bak parts again, and then you'll have the intros back. So just this one file in here. The rest of these are all other cutscenes or other important files. I don't know what they all are. Could be sound files. Here's some sound files, waves. I don't recognize what a .vr or .tst file is. They could be files for Apple, Mac, I don't know. But anyway, you're just concerned with that one file in here. This one. And then this one in the root directory. And so if you do that, then it'll go straight to the title screen of the game. Okay, the next thing. Mouse click responsiveness. Pressing the left mouse button in the game is your movement and interact key. Pressing the right mouse button in the game is your inventory key. It brings up an inventory screen. In testing, I've found that when you are clicking on the interactive hotspots on the screen or opening the inventory, the game does not always seem to register what you are clicking, resulting in a false click and no action. Since you are left mouse clicking all the time in the game to move your character, this can be very annoying. I'm not sure why this is happening, and I did test with 2 different mice. My suggestion is when you left or right mouse click in the game, make sure you do a double click. This method isn't 100% guaranteed to work though. In the end, I opted to use a keybinding program like GlovePie or AutoHotkey will work. I assigned the left mouse click to mouse wheel scroll down, and I assigned right mouse click to mouse wheel scroll up. This works a lot better than using the standard left and right mouse clicks, as now you can rapidly scroll the mouse wheel and the actions are more likely to respond. I don't believe that the mouse scroll wheel is used for any actions in the game, so it shouldn't be a problem. If anyone happens to know of a better fix or why this is happening, please let me know in the comments of this video, as I am curious. So I'll cover the in-game settings and controls. You have just 2 settings that you can adjust in the game. We'll look at these in more detail when we play the game. So you have your volume slider. This controls the overall volume of the game. Then you have a slider called rotation. This is referring to mouse sensitivity, just a different term than you would expect. So like when you're using the mouse, moving it around to make the camera look around, it's describing how quickly you can basically rotate the camera. Then the other thing you have is the controls themselves. So you have your movement and your actions, interactions, and this is left mouse click. The inventory is brought up with the right mouse click. Then you can bring up the main menu by pressing escape. And then the F2 key and the F3 key represent a save and load key. You can get to these actions in the menu, but it's a shortcut to get to them faster. And I don't think it's mentioned in the game that you can use those keys. And then you also have a skip animations key. It's the key to the left of the enter key, which I believe is the quote key. This keybind in the manual is labeled incorrectly. They actually labeled it as the tilde key, or the tilde key, which is to the left of the 1 key on your keyboard. But it's actually the key to the left of the enter key. This key will let you skip animations, which it means cutscenes. It lets you skip cutscenes and maybe like actual just in-game animations. So good thing to know that that's there, as well as the F2 and the F3 keys. Like I said, we'll look at these in more detail in the game. I'll show them to you in the menu in the game when we play and when we're playing. I'm just not going to do a cut in this video to show you, since they're very simplistic. So in the next video, we will be getting into the gameplay. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.